This is a success mantra. The success in UPSC comes from smart analysis. Very important. You need to analyze. You need to analyze each and every aspect that you are going through this preparation. So everything you need to analyze. Okay, what is the relevance of this thing? Okay, what will I write if this comes for the examination, or either for the prelims or for the mains, or in the interview, how I am going to respond to this particular question. So all these analysis you need to have. You need to have an idea about it, and that is the reason why this session is very important for you. Okay, now why PYQ matter in UPSC? Okay, there are trends. Okay, there are trends in every area. If you look at fashion, there is trend. If you look at the education, there is trend. Okay, if you look at film, there is trend. If you look at entertainment, there is trend. If you look at games, there is trend. So there is trend in every area. So how do you understand about the trend in the examination, in the UPSC examination? How do you understand about the modern patterns in the UPSC examination? That you can only understand through the PYQs. Suppose if you are just going through only the 2010 and 2011 question papers, the previous year's question papers, and then you are planning to write the examination, you will be totally confused, because that is almost around 16 years before. Now it is another, altogether it's another examination itself. The trend has changed, the questions has changed, the pattern has changed, everything is changed. Now you have to look at the previous years. 2025 you need to understand, 2024, 23, 22, 21, and that should be the way you need to analyze also. It should not be starting from 2012. Okay, suppose you are starting from 2015. You should not be starting from 2015. You should actually go back. You should start from 2025, then 2024, then 23, then 22, then 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Like that you need to do this. Don't do the other way. Okay. So to understand the trend and the pattern, it is important to know about the PYQs. Identify the important themes and recurring topics. Very, very, very important. So once you have your syllabus with you, because already the syllabus is there, you know where is the syllabus, it is already uploaded there, and already there is class based on syllabus, it is also there in the recorded version. You can actually go through that, and once you understand about it, then you are jumping into the subject study. You will start from NCERT, you will go to the advanced concepts and everything. So when you are actually touching upon each and every concept, you should know the value of that particular concept, that particular topic. So what do you mean by this value? I'm telling from the perspective of repeated questions in the examination. So when you know that, okay, particular topic. So for example, the Indian polity is a particular subject, and from Indian polity, there are many repeated questions came from a particular topic, that is parliament. So when you're studying about parliament, you are very cautious. You are very careful about how to study the parliament. That concept, you are very, very careful about it, because you know that this is not a silly topic. This topic has its value, and most probably it will be repeated in the next year's question paper. So I have to give that focus and attention to this particular topic. I have to learn it effectively. You will have this thought process, right? Then improve answer writing and elimination skills. So there are two ways in which you can do that. One, when you are going through the PYQs, and then you are actually practicing questions. So whenever I'm talking about you have to go through the PYQ, that doesn't mean that you should not write the practice questions. You have to write hundreds and hundreds of practice tests, because then only you will get that hands-on experience. You will get that, okay, how in an examination hall this whole thought process will work. The physically how you are going to manage things. All those things you will only understand when you are going through mock test or practice test. So when you are going through the PYQ and properly analyze it, you will understand, okay, how to eliminate certain options, how to effectively write the answers. So you will have this clarity. Then another major thing is, once you have syllabus and once you have PYQ with you, once you understand the important concepts or important topics for your study, then you will avoid unnecessary materials. You will avoid unnecessary information. You will not go and study each and everything that is coming to you. You know that, okay, this is not relevant. This is not that a properly relevant area. I don't need to invest that much time on this one. You will have this understanding. So definitely, these are the advantages of understanding PYQs. Okay, so these are the advantages of actually analyzing PYQs. Now let us go into the detailed aspects. Now, please be ready to take notes. Okay, take notes in the sense the lecture notes you can actually take. The video, anyways, we will get the video, but the lecture notes you need to take. What are the important points I am emphasizing on that you should definitely take. Okay. Now, first, what you need to do, organize your PYQs for smart revision. For doing this, what you need to do. The first thing is minimum of 10 years of question papers you need to analyze. So where do you get this? The 10 years of question papers, you will get it from Union Public Service Commission, the UPSC website. You will get the questions. Get the questions for both prelims and mains. Okay, from 2015 to 2025. 10 years question papers you should have in your hand. Okay, and this month you will be having the 2026 prelims also. When you're having that, get that question also. Okay, so that is the first activity you need to do. Download at least 10 years of UPSC prelims and mains papers. That's the activity for you today. Just note it down. Do it today. Sorry. Do it today. So that's the first activity. Now, when you are doing this, the PYQ analysis, no, every time you need to connect it with the subjects. You need to connect it with the syllabus. Syllabus is highly relevant here. So I have already told you that, okay, you have to download the syllabus and paste it in a place where you are studying, or you need to write down the entire syllabus and paste it in a place where you are studying. Which means you should, every day you should have that connection with the syllabus. You should be able to look at the syllabus, okay, wherever you are studying. Now, separate the questions on a subject-wise manner. Separate the questions on a subject-wise manner. So, you know, when you are going through the syllabus, you know which this concept is coming in polity or not, this concept is coming in economy or not, this concept is coming in geography or not. You will have this understanding. So, just two questions are there. Discuss the role of Election Commission of India in ensuring free and fair elections. So, which subject it belongs? Anyone? Which subject?
Indian polity.
It belongs. Indian polity. Very simple. Okay. So you should be able to note down it in the Indian polity section. Then another question is, which of the following is or are characteristics of laterite soil? Simply, it is mentioned here. It is the part of geography. Okay, it's a part of geography. So then you should be, assigning that particular, question with the geography. So then, how you are going to manage this one? How you are going to manage? Okay, so I have told you two important things. One is downloading 10 years of question papers, PYQs, both for both prelims and mains. The second one is assigning it or separating it based on a subject-wise manner. And what are the major subjects involved here? Polity, economy, geography, history, environment, security, international relations, disaster management, art and culture, okay, environment, science and technology, etc. You have seen that also. Then the third one is how you are going to do it. You can do it in two ways. One, you can actually have your own digital folders in your laptops. You can have your own folders, or else you can actually have a handwritten folder. Okay, like a file you can actually keep in a textbook or in a notebook. You can actually keep it like a file. So separate it based on polity, geography, history, environment, IR, science and technology, miscellaneous, etc. So when you are doing this, you will get more clarity. So suppose when you are going through a prelims question paper, general studies one paper, you know that 100 questions are there. These 100 questions are actually scattered in the sense it is from different subjects. Now, it is very difficult for you to I mean, every time you go and check it, and then you need to understand, okay, how many questions belong to this particular subject, how many questions belong to geography, how many questions belong to economy. That's a hectic task. But in the first time itself, when you're doing this, it will take some time. Definitely, it's going to take some time. But you have to do this activity. We have the repository for all these things, but we are not going to share it. Why? Because this is an activity you have to do it, because this is a learning process. Okay, you have to do this activity by yourself. It's very, very important. Or if you're having a group study, or a combined study group, then definitely all of you can sit together and then you can do it. That's absolutely fine. But you have to do it. Your understanding is very important. If somebody else has done it and then you're actually taking it, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, you're just copy pasting somebody else has done it. It doesn't make any sense, and it is not a learning for you at all. For that person, it's a learning because he has or she has actually worked on that. She understood that concept. She understood the every aspects of that. Then only they have made that particular folder. But now when you're just copy pasting that, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm telling you that is not going to help you out. You have to work. You have to work by yourself. Okay. Understand the examination. This is all actually part of understanding the examination. So this you can choose whether you will go with the digital folder or you will go with the handwritten folder. That is up to you. Based on your convenience, you need to do it. Okay. So what are the takeaways from this particular slide that you need to do it? Okay. So takeaways I am going to tell you then. Download the questions for both prelims and mains for 10 years. Then the subject-wise allocation, it will take some time. And now, most important decision that you need to take is whether you're going on with the digital folders or you're going on with the handwritten folders. My suggestion is digital folders will be helpful for you in the future also for doing the analysis part. But if handwritten notes is only the possibility right now, definitely go on with handwritten possibility. When you're going on with handwritten notes, no, that will be more clear because you'll write it down and your understanding will be much more bigger. Okay, so you can choose whichever is convenient for you. You can actually choose that. Now, this part is clear for all of you. You need an explanation here. Now, the second part of this particular process. Categorize and classify the questions. Categorize and classify the questions. That is the main thing I was telling you. How do you categorize this? Divide questions into static and current affairs, classify by subjects, and mark conceptual and factual questions separately. This is a proper way in which we can do, but right now you can go on with your classification should be based on the static concepts, because you may not understand whether that was a current affair for you. Like in the 2028 question paper, when you are going through, you may not understand whether that was a current affair or not. So don't do that because it will take some more time. But basically, you need to go with the static concepts. So now, can anybody tell me what is the static concept?
Sir, which do not change or which remains for a constant period of time. For example, geography or, for example, Constitution of India, like that.
Yeah. So which means certain things which are clearly mentioned in our syllabus, there is no change in that. These are standard, static, non-changing concepts and topics. So those are the static concepts. So for everything, no, I'm telling again and again, for everything you need to have understanding regarding the syllabus. Without that, it is very, very difficult to move forward. Okay. So static concepts, let us try to understand. Now, what are the static concepts? Topics that remain constant over the years, like constitution, fundamental rights, geography of India, okay, economy, so certain the RBI, the functions of RBI, all those things are considered to be static in nature. But there are certain current affairs or dynamic concepts. So these are actually changing. Like year by year, you can see that there will be changes. Budget, okay, budget is a kind of a new policy which is introduced by the government, which is changing actually. Certain schemes, certain events, certain reports, or certain data, or certain developments, these are all things which will change because it may not be the same thing like last year. It will have its own changes in this year. So we can actually understand based on that, static and current affairs. But whatever it is, the first priority is to put it in the folder, the respective folder. What is that folder? Subject is the folder. So suppose if you're getting a question like here, you can look at the first question. Discuss the significance of basic structure doctrine in the Indian Constitution. So to which subject it is actually coming? In which subject it is coming?
Polity.
Polity. Okay, so then you understood that there is a question related to basic structure doctrine. Indian Constitution, no, it is a very broad thing. But what is the specific topic here? Basic structure doctrine. So basic structure doctrine, if you are getting that question for 4 to 5 years continuously, which means that question is very, very, very important for you. That particular topic is very, very important for you. Now the second question, what is the current repo rate set by the Reserve Bank of India? Current repo rate, whether it is a static topic or a current affair topic.
Current affair.
Current affair, because they are asking about a particular year, that's about the current. Okay, it was a current event. But broadly, that particular question is connected with economy. So what is the topic coming here? In economy, you can actually get a question from the Reserve Bank of India, the functions of the Reserve Bank of India. Okay, the monetary functions of the Reserve Bank of India, you can actually expect a question from that. So that is a topic you are listing. Now, in the next year or next to next year, if there are questions related to Reserve Bank of India, it may be related to CRR, cash reserve ratio, or statutory liquidity ratio, or whatever it is. But if you're getting questions based on that, which means the monetary policy of Reserve Bank of India is a very, very important topic for me. Now you are analyzing it because last 10 years, in almost around 6 years, you got questions from this monetary policy, which means that that topic is relevant. You have to study it really well. And whatever current affairs related to that also, you need to study it really well. Okay, this is the idea behind doing the PYQs. So this should be the way you should be allocating the topics to the important folders. Okay, so there are folders. These are all subject-wise folders: polity, economy, geography, history, environment. All these are different folders. What you are going to do is you are actually allocating it to multiple folders based on the topic. Okay, very important. Now, there are two ways in which you can actually ask questions. One is a conceptual question, and then another one is a factual question. There is no much difference, but when it comes to facts, these are actually data. When it comes to fact, these are data, places, names, statistics, which is very difficult to change. That is the importance of factual questions. Data is based on data. The conceptual questions, which needs more clarity and explanation. Okay, you will be able to analyze it, you will be able to explain it, you will be able to describe it. Okay, usually it needs explanation, it needs explanations, examples, evaluations, etc. Those are conceptual clarity. Like, what is photosynthesis? It's a concept-based question. You need to take it in that way. Okay, what is weathering? It's a concept-based question. Okay, how soil erosion is actually happening? It's a concept-based question. Okay, what was the Human Development Index? Ranking of India? That is actually a factual-based question. You need to find out the data regarding that. The population of India, you need to find out the data regarding that. Okay, so this is how you should be understanding the conceptual questions and also the factual questions. That is just for reference, I'm telling. But the first priority is to classify into various subjects. The questions you need to classify it into various subjects. I'm telling you, it is already available in the market and also in the internet. It is already available. But my suggestion is not to go with that. You do it by yourself. You read each question and then do it. So your understanding will be much more bigger, because when you are reading the question, your clarity regarding how they are making the question will also improve. So I'm going to discuss about that detail in the next slides. Okay, so this part is clear, how to categorize and classify questions. Is that clear for you?
Yes, sir.
So the second one is mainly focusing on categorizing and classifying the questions based on the topic and subject. Now, identify and focus on high frequency topics. High frequency topics. Frequency means what? Which keep on coming. Okay, recurring. Okay, track recurring topics every year. Not UPSC's favorite areas in each subject, and focus more on high frequency themes. Very very important. Like in 2020, they asked about Parliament. 21, they asked about Parliament. 22, 23, 24, 25, they asked about Parliament. Is that a high frequency topic? Is that a high frequency topic?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, definitely it is a high frequency topic. You won't be able to neglect that. Okay, now Indian Constitution, it is broad. Okay, I'm not saying that it is a correct one. Indian Constitution is broad, but climate change is a topic. See, climate change questions came in 2024, 23, 22, 21, and 21 and 19, which means out of the last 6 years we are taking, in the last 5 years, you will be able to find questions on climate change, which means that is a priority topic. Okay. Then India-China relations. Out of last 6 years, in 4 years, you got questions related to India-China, which is actually a relevant topic, but still there is some relaxation. When it comes to federalism, only 3 out of 6. When it comes to digital economy, 3 out of 6 or 4 out of 6. So this is how you need to identify the frequency. That means the recurring topics. You need to track the recurring topics. And how do you do that? Once you go through each and every topic, and once you allocate or classify it based on various subjects, it will be easy for you to do that. So when you're classifying the polity questions alone, then out of that, like for example, in a particular year, most probably you may get around 12 to 15 questions from polity itself. 12 to 15 questions. From geography also 10 to 15 questions. From economy 10 to 15 questions. From environment and geography almost around 9 to 10 questions. Okay, so this is how the questions are asked in the UPSC prelims. Now it is easy for you. In 2025, I need to arrange only 15 questions in polity. I need to arrange only 15 questions in geography. It is easy for you to do that. And once you do that, no, it is easy for you to understand, okay, whether any topic is repeated in 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Then just go through that. It is easy for you to identify that. Now, when you're identifying it as a high frequency topic or a highly recurring topic, you have to give that priority to that. You have to study it in detail. You have to go through each and every current affairs related to that particular topic, which came in the last year. So this is the smart strategy. Okay. You can read whatever comes to you, whatever the students are giving you or the teachers are giving you, your friends are giving you. You can just go through it, read it. But that is not a smart strategy. It's just hardworking. Okay. Here, what we need is hardworking plus smart working. Okay, you need to hard work. You need to do that, put in that hard work. But identify where to put that hard work. That is why we are going through this PYQ analysis process. Okay, now, for example, some of the UPSC's favorite areas are listed here for polity, constitutional provisions, then fundamental rights, directive principles, federalism, governance, parliament, etc. When it comes to economy, Indian economy like fiscal policy, monetary policy, inclusive growth, reforms, etc. In geography, climate change, disaster management, resources, mapping-based questions, etc. International relations, India and its neighborhood, global organizations, bilateral relations, international issues, etc. In environment, biodiversity, conservation, then environmental policies, climate change, etc. Then in science and technology, questions related to space, IT, biotechnology, innovations, applications, governance, etc. So these are some of the favorite topics which were actually asked in the previous year's questions. And favorite topics of whom? UPSC's favorite topics. So that understanding you will only get when you are actually going through the PYQ analysis. So it's a very, very important activity. Now, high frequency topics have higher chance of repeating. Better retention, revising key areas improves recall. Because now, once you understand that, okay, only around 100 and 150 topics or 200 topics are only there to study, to give that focus, then you have that clarity. You are clear, okay, what I should revise properly. Just revise that 200 topics efficiently. you can actually expect around 30 to 40 questions out of it. I'm not talking about exact questions, but you will be getting questions from that topic. If you're studying 200, okay, high frequency topics, then you can actually expect around 30 to 40 questions from that. 30 to 40 questions is very, very, very important. 40 questions, just imagine if you are able to crack 40 questions in this exam, you are getting 80 marks. You are getting 80 marks. And if you manage to get another 20 marks from some other 5 or 10 questions, then you get 100 marks. If you're getting 100 marks, you are clear. Okay, you clear the prelims test. 100 marks out of 200. If you're getting 100 marks, you clear the test. 50 questions is right, no? You clear the test. You'll pass the prelims. So this is the advantage of doing this. So out of this, if you're getting that 40 questions from your prediction, from your high frequency, highly frequency themes or highly recurring topics, that is your advantage because others are not doing it. They are not doing that smart work. They are simply going through the syllabus, covering syllabus and finishing the syllabus. But you have a smart strategy. You know how you need to allocate time for important areas. What are the high priority areas? What are the priority areas? What are the less priority areas? You have some clarity because you have done a proper analysis. It may look little difficult for you, but it's a very, very important activity which is going to help you make your examination really, really easy. This whole preparation, no, it will actually make it easy for you. But initially, you need to put in that time. You need to put in that effort. Okay, is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Still here? Yeah. Now, for example, there are some high frequency topics in general studies mains also listed here, from polity, federalism, judiciary, fundamental rights. Then from economy, inclusive growth, fiscal policy, agriculture, employment. In geography, climate change, disaster management, water resources, mapping, etc. So, like many of these questions, so many of these topics are overlapping also, which means it will come in prelims and also in mains. So your preparation will be much more simpler. Your time, the allocation of time, you'll be able to manage really well. Okay, so please do it effectively. Please do it. This is going to help you a lot. Okay, so after this, no, I'll be giving you time to download the questions and start working on it. I'm going to give you time, so make sure that you do it efficiently. Okay, I'm going to the next topic. Analyze question framing. Okay, here comes the magic. Okay, here comes the magic, the smart work. The main smart work happens here because in the application level I'm talking. Now, there are different types of questions asked in the prelims. Different types of questions. The concept-based questions are there, like statement-based questions are there, then application-based questions are there. So different types of questions are there. But how it is actually presented in the question paper, how they have framed it, and where you need to focus. If you understand this, no, it will be easy for you. UPSC is not, there to make your work easy. That is not their job. Their job is to make your work confusing and difficult. They have to challenge you. UPSC has to challenge you. UPSC has to make your work really challenging, make your effort really challenging. Okay, so they will do maximum for that. How can they do that? We'll see. UPSC loves statement-based questions. Carefully read each statement and evaluate whether it is true or false. So, when you are getting questions like this, the statement-based questions, without a proper understanding of the topic, you won't be able to answer it. Because a proper holistic understanding is required here. Consider the following statements like the governor of a state is appointed by the chief minister. The governor holds office during the pleasure of the president. Two questions are asked. Actually, when you're looking at this question, you have to understand about governor. You have to understand about the functions of the chief minister. You have to understand about the functions of the prime minister or the responsibilities of the president also. So three important personalities, three important key positions in the Indian Constitution. You need to understand. Without that understanding, you won't be able to answer this question. So, why they are asking like that? They can simply ask from a particular area, one particular function itself, but they will try to link it with multiple topics. Then only they will be able to confuse you. So, your understanding should be much more stronger to apply this. And how to approach this one? Read each statement carefully. Check for the absolute words like all, always, never, only, must. These are certain twists made by the UPSC. So must and all, they're saying that it's sure properly. Okay, here the governor of a state is appointed by the chief minister. It's a statement. The governor of a state is appointed by the chief minister. The statement, it's a must, it's a very strong statement. So when you see such statements, no, you'll feel like you tend to have that, I mean, absorbing it like that. You'll tend to absorb it like that, but tend to understand it in that way itself, because it's a classic statement, a strong statement. We feel like, okay, strong statements are always true, but it is actually false. It is wrong. The governor of a state is appointed by the president only. So a person who knows about this particular statement, then it is easy for that person to come into the conclusion. Why? Because he can actually eliminate the first option, that is option 1, eliminate it. Option 2, it's a confusing because he may not have the clarity regarding the option 2. Then option C, he can eliminate because they also include option 1, the 1 in that. Then the other one also, D, is also confusing. Now coming to the next statement, the governor holds office during the pleasure of the president. Yes, that is the correct one. If somebody knows this, then they can directly go and answer the option B. Okay. So usually it is a pattern for the UPSC to make the questions, false questions as an absolute question for you, which means you will have that feeling that, okay, this is correct. UPSC is actually asking this, the statement is correct. They will create that feeling in you, and you will make it wrong also. So these kinds of twists and techniques adopted by UPSC, you need to understand effectively. Okay, so that is one area. So you need to, when you are reading the questions, why I'm telling this, no, when you're going to analyze the question, you just keep all these things in mind, how they are actually framing the question. That framing, if you are clearly able to understand the framing of the question, it's easy. Now, study elimination techniques. That was the one I have actually told you right now, because you already know the first one is wrong. Then wherever that first option is coming, you will be able to negate it, eliminate it. So that is elimination technique. Read the questions carefully, understand what is being asked, eliminate the wrong options, which means removing options that are clearly incorrect, narrow down the choices. So when you know that the first option is wrong, you have actually narrowed down it to 2 options only, that is option B and option D. So you already know about the second option, it is correct, so you will arrive at the correct answer. If you are confused about these 2, then you may guess one answer also. There are chances for that. I'm not saying that you should not do that. You have to, because sometimes you have to do some guesswork also. Make an educated guess. That is, if unsure between 2 options, use logic and concept clarity. It will definitely come, because these are all related to practice. You are actually, for 1 year, you are actually doing this. You're going through these kinds of topics, these kinds of discussions, these kinds of textbooks, materials, etc. So definitely that will be there in your brain. Our brain is very strong. Our memory is really strong. We may think that, okay, we don't have that much memory. I have memory issues. I'm not able to recollect now. But please understand it very carefully. You have a very strong memory. That is the reason why you are able to remember the movies. 2.5 hour movie, you are able to remember it only because you have a strong memory. Whatever happened in the past, okay, maybe around 10 years before also, if something bad happens in the past, then you tend to remember that, which means your memory is very strong. So memory actually works in two ways. Basically, it works in two ways. One is by association. Okay, when you are associating a new information with an already existing information, then your memory tend to remember that. You tend to remember that. Then the second one is memory works by repetition. Two ways, by association and by repetition. Repetition means you are going it through more than 2 or 3 times again and again when you are going through a particular topic, which means your memory will be very strong related to that. You'll be able to recall it whenever it is required. Okay, so please understand it very carefully. Memory works by two main things. One is association and one is by repetition. Okay, very, very important. Now, understand how UPSC twists conceptual questions. Very important. This is a place where if you are a careless person, you tend to make a lot of mistakes. If you are a careless person, which means sometimes we tend to fill the form, which means if when you are actually reading the question from the beginning itself, when you are reading the question, by before completing the question itself, you will assume the answer for it. You will assume the entire question also sometimes, because you feel that okay, this is you are very strong or very, very confident about it. But here comes the trick of UPSC. That is, for example, which of the following is not a feature of the Indian Constitution? Okay, just a question you are actually getting. Which of the following is not a feature of the federal system? An example is actually given there. Not a feature of the federal system. Okay, but sometimes we tend to remove this not. We tend to, avoid this not, because our brain is like that. We are not going to look at it carefully. We will read it like, which of the following is a feature of the federal system? Which of the following is a feature of the federal system? You just missed it. That not, you just missed it. This happens. This happens in the exam hall also. And that's a trick made by the UPSC. And you will get confused also when this not is getting added. No, you will get confused also. Then another important question is, which of the following is or are is correct regarding this? And when you are reading it, you will actually read it like correct. But just imagine if UPSC is adding it as incorrect. Sometimes you tend to read it as correct. Which of the following is or are incorrect? If that is a question, we will tend to read it like which of the following is or are correct. So this careless mistakes will make a lot in the examination hall, especially when you are really, tensed, when you are really nervous in the examination hall. We tend to make this mistake. So make sure that these are all traps made by the UPSC, because they do not require this 4 lakh people who are writing the examination there. They want to, eliminate you people. They want to filter out many people, lakhs of students from this examination. That is the reason why they will use all these kinds of tricks. But it is our intelligence, it is our responsibility to understand this problem, these kinds of challenges, and then act accordingly. It is our responsibility to do that. Okay, so please make sure that you read the questions carefully. Then there are assertion and reason type questions. They may give an assertion and they will give a reason also. Like assertion may tend to be like a very strong statement, very true statement, but the reason may be also a true statement, but it may not be the correct reason for that assertion. Such type of questions they can ask. And the options will be confusing for you. When it comes to options, no, you will actually go in the wrong way. Then another major trick they do is they combine 2 subjects together. Like geography, the concepts from geography and environment, they combine it. The concepts from economy and polity, they combine. The concepts from history and art and culture, they combine. So which means it will be confusing for you because you are going to deal with 2 important subjects. So these are the ways in which UPSC tend to play with your mind. Okay, because they have to do that, then only they will be able to get the perfect candidates for the UPSC examination. Okay, so make sure that you keep these things in your mind. Now, major thing, it's a major one, that is you should always connect or link the PYQ with the syllabus. Topics when you are going through, no, you should be able to identify to in which subject it is coming, in which paper it is coming, in which topic it is coming. This understanding you need to develop. And always, you know, in your learning journey, in this preparation process, always keep the syllabus with you. Always. It's that much important in your preparation. Okay, so gather at least 10 to 15 years of prelims and mains questions, map to syllabus. Okay, from what all areas they are actually asking. Like there is one question, consider the following statements about the governor of a state. They are asking about the governor. So it is a syllabus topic is governor's powers and functions. Syllabus section is polity. Okay, the frequency of that particular question is 8, which means it's a highly, mark fetching topic. So this understanding you need to have. Any question that you go through, no, try to get its correct original place in the syllabus. If you are going through a question like arrange the following rivers from west to east, it is something connected with the rivers in India. It is something connected with the geography of India, the physical geography of India. So this understanding you need to have. So there is a question related to global warming, which is something connected with the environment or ecology or climate change. The broader topic is climate change. So this understanding you need to have, and that you will be able to develop only with the understanding of the syllabus. And not only here, no, I'm talking about when you are reading newspaper also, always do this. This is the best activity that you can do to learn. Okay, always when you are reading a news, always connect it with the syllabus. Okay, where is it coming in syllabus? Then you will understand whether it is relevant for you or not. If it is not coming in the syllabus, it is not relevant for you, then you can just skip that and then go to the next news or article. Okay, so always do this. Always connect it with the syllabus, link it with the syllabus. Is it clear, this part?